welcome back to my channel. My name is Geraldine Antoinette and today I'm going to film a video about my yoga teacher training experience and tips on how to choose your yoga teacher training. I didn't really know how to structure it, there were so many questions, and thought it would be the easiest to tell you 5 tips on how to choose your yoga teacher training and start to build up my experience and also my reasons why I chose the one that I went to, and combine these 2 stories to make it cohesive and understandable. Truly, from my heart, recommend it to anybody out there who is interested in getting their practice onto the next level and to learn about not only yoga but also about themselves. I did my 200-hour yoga teacher training in September of last year, 2019. My teachers were Mathieu Boldron and Rubin. Before I started filming this video, I came up with 5 tips on how to choose your teacher training, and the main points that you want to take into account for your choice are, first of all, the teacher, very important. Second of all, the style of yoga that you want to go for. Third is the organization that organizes the teacher training. Fourth is the location where the teacher training is taking place. And number 5 is the price. So maybe this order is different for you, that doesn't really matter. You can choose your own order on how important these factors are for your choice. Let's start with the first point. So the first thing that was the most important thing for me is teacher. If you want to learn more about yoga, more about its philosophy, about the different asanas, it is super important that you choose somebody that shares similar or the same values as you do, and whose teaching style you actually enjoy, because the teacher that does the training is going to implement a lot of his own style into the training. So therefore the choice of teacher is really important, and that ties into the reason why I chose my teacher training. I did my 200 hours teacher training with Mathieu Boldron and Rubin in Bali. The location was Bali Beach, and the people who organized it were exhaleyogaretreats. That was the little backstory about my teacher training. And yeah, Mathieu Boldron was the teacher, right? And how I met Mathieu, it's actually a really funny story, so I have to go a bit back. I used to work at a yoga studio here in Zurich, and I would help organize the Swiss Yoga Conference. And at the Swiss Yoga Conference, there was one teacher, his name was Dice, maybe you know him. And I really enjoyed his style of teaching and the classes that he taught. And then I saw that he offered teacher training with his partner at the time, Bryony, and they have a yoga school called Bryce Yoga. So long story short, as a guest teacher, Dice and Bryony had Mathieu Boldron, and he has an amazing voice. He did some kirtan with all the participants of their yoga teacher training, and I just really vibed with his energy, so I also started following him. And after I was staying in Koh Samui, I wanted to go to Koh Phangan. So I took the ferry and I went to Koh Phangan and stayed at a little hotel there, and it was a really nice island. And then I saw that Mathieu, after they finished the training, went to the Orion Healing Center and taught a class there. And I was really intrigued to try his class, so I decided to sign up. It was a 2-hour workshop, 2-hour class. I have done many yoga classes in my life before, and Mathieu's class was just something different. The way he explained everything, his values about yoga and his philosophy, like his views on how to pass the teachings that he was gifted with and that he learned from, was just amazing. And I thoroughly enjoyed these 2 hours. They flew by like so quickly, and I just knew in my heart that if I ever want to do a teacher training, it would be with him. His class was great. He did a lot of functional moves and also some really hard mobility stuff that was super challenging, but the way he taught us into was so astonishing, because we were actually able to get into these difficult poses and into this difficult move thanks to the way he built up the whole class. It was really rounded, really well thought out, and you could tell that he planned every single bit of that class. And in the end, we also did an eye gazing, which was just such an incredible experience as well. To conclude the first point, teacher, find somebody that you vibe with. Maybe you have taken their class before, which I recommend because that is very vital to your decision. Or maybe it's somebody that you follow for a long time online, that you really like their content. Maybe you have done a class that they shared on YouTube, for example. So look them up, really do your research on that specific teacher, and then choose your training according to the person you want to spend like a month learning from, right? Because it's a time commitment, but also a money commitment, and you just really want to be sure about your decision. Number 2 is style of yoga. The second thing that I think is important to consider is the style of yoga that you want to teach and the style of yoga that you enjoy the most. So there are plenty of styles of yoga. The main ones are Hatha, Vinyasa, Ashtanga, Forest Yoga, Jivamukti Yoga. So there's so many styles of yoga that you can do. I would suggest you to do a teacher training in the style of yoga that you enjoy most and that you do the most, because you already have a bit of experience in it, right? Our training was Hatha / Vinyasa. I really enjoy Vinyasa classes because they have a nice flow, and breath linked movement just really aligns with the way I like to move, and I always feel the best after these classes. So the style of yoga for me was perfect too. So to sum up point number 2, choose the style of yoga that you feel most comfortable doing and also can see yourself teaching as well. Point number 3, the organization. Now, organization is really important as well, because you want to feel at home, you want to feel good taken care of, and you want the teacher training in a whole to be organized very well. You want the food to be good, you want the accommodation to be good, just everything taken care of, that you can fully invest all your time and effort and energy especially into the training, because it is very demanding. It's going to be very demanding physically, mentally, emotionally, so it's going to be a real journey. So you want to feel at ease and feel good taken care of. I chose Exhale Yoga Retreats because they were doing this training with Mathieu and started to just look into what they're doing. I looked up their website, I checked out their Instagram feed, I read a lot of reviews about them online and also the testimonials that they had on their website. I just felt a really good vibe and really good energy when I looked into the content. It was really aesthetically pleasing and everybody looked truly happy. What the participants were saying about how the training was organized and about how Jules and Rachel, these are the owners of Exhale Yoga Retreats, are organizing everything, just felt really good to me. I just wanted to be in a training where a lot of like-minded people are joining too, and I thought that if this appeals to me, probably a lot of like-minded people to me are going to choose the same training because it will appeal to them as well. And then I looked into the application process and I saw that you had to fill out a form, which is really good as well because they want to get to know a bit more about you, and it's like a first step, first chore that you need to do before you can even apply. And I think that already cancels out a lot of people that are doing this not with the whole heart, not with the full effort, because they can't be bothered to fill out this form, which is quite a long form, right? I mean, they want to know a lot of your reasons why you want to do the training and just some background information about you. So I thought that's really good idea how they are doing it. And then you need to get accepted into the training, which sounds really good to me as well, because they probably only want to have people at the trainings who are aligning with their values. To sum up point 3 with organization, to research on the organization, look at the testimonial videos, look at the reviews online, maybe even write some of the people that you saw took the trainings of said organization and ask how their experience was. There's no harm in reaching out to people and asking about genuine feedback. Just listen inwards, how you feel about the overall vibe of the organization. Does it feel well put together? Do you vibe with their aesthetic? Do you like their energy? Does it feel right in your heart? Because that's really important as well, because you want to feel at home when you go on a training and spend that much money. It's a big commitment and you want to make an educated choice. Point number 4, location. So there are so many locations that offer teacher trainings, so many countries that you can go to. I think one of the first choices for people is usually India, because yoga has originated in India, and I was considering India as well. However, I chose Bali for the location of my teacher training because I have been to Bali before and I have never been to India. So I just wanted to go to a place where I knew that I will feel comfortable, because I like the people there, I enjoy the whole country in general, I enjoy the food. I was in Bali 2 years ago from the time of the training, and I went with my boyfriend and we had just the most incredible time there. It was beautiful. The people were so lovely, really kind-hearted as well. They were really genuine and supportive and they wanted to help. We even had a motorcycle accident when we were in Bali, and the people were just offering us help without demanding any money for it. And just a great experience. Bali just has a special place in my heart. Another part of the location is the hotel that it is going to take place at. So our training was at the Pondok Pitaya at Balian Beach. Now in Bali, if you have narrowed it down to Bali, there are so many studios that offer teacher training. When you do your training, you want to have a safe space where you feel really secure and also don't have too many distractions. Because how our days were set up was 3 hours of yoga practice in the morning, starting with breath work, a little meditation, sometimes spinal waves, and then just practice until from 7 to 10. And then at 10:30ish it was breakfast, and after breakfast we had the next segment. After breakfast, the next segment was usually theory, so yoga philosophy, for example, or the Sanskrit names, and that was from I think 11:30 to 2. And then we had lunch break, and after lunch break, I think at around 3 until 6, we had sequencing and just practicing the art of teaching in asana clinic. Then it was dinner from like 6:30ish to open end, so as long as you wanted to stay at dinner. And then we usually had homework. We needed to learn our Sanskrit, we needed to sequence, transition from one asana into another for the next day. So you don't really have a lot of time to go out or to mingle with other people at a club or at the bar or at a restaurant or whatever. So you just want to choose a place that is really safe, secure, that you feel comfortable at, and that doesn't have too many distractions. At 7 a.m. you need to be on your mat again, fully ready for practice, and it's like every day. You have 4 days off, and one of these days you prepare your final exam, so there's not a lot of time for you to recover during the week if it's not on your day off. So therefore you want to be at a bit more of a remote place. What also ties into the location is the food, or maybe also into the organization, whatever you want. It's pretty fluid, the strategy that I made. So food is really important to me because I need food as a fuel, especially when I'm physically, emotionally, and mentally worked. I need to have a good, proper fuel. I need to know that I get good, healthy meals that are fresh, that are vegan, and we were so fortunate to have a personal chef almost. Her name was Marie. She also did the training, and she went there 2 weeks before to look at all the recipes with the staff of the hotel and to show them how to prepare her meals from the meal plan. And it was just so refreshing and so nice to have good food, to be fueled, it just makes so much difference on how much energy you are able to give in training and in the yoga classes in the morning when you have good food in your belly. So we were spoiled. Like, the food was amazing. Teacher Mathieu was incredible. And yeah, the location, the Pandak Vitaya, is a hotel that is located at Bali beach. It is a really nice beach because there are so few people. In the mornings there were some surfers because it's like a surf and yoga retreat hotel. Most beautiful sunsets and sunrises that I have seen in my life, and you just had the beach basically to yourself, which was amazing, and I loved it. We even did beach cleanups with the organization, with exhaleyogaretreats, and yeah, it was just it was such an amazing experience. I always get teary-eyed when I think about this experience because it just has such a special place in my heart. Alright, sum up point number 4. Location. Make sure that you do your research about the country if you haven't been, or preferably that you have been before, that you know what you can expect from the country. Then second of all, hotel. Make sure that the hotel looks nice to you, that you have all the facilities that you need. And third of all is food. It also ties into the organization. Make sure that if you're vegan or gluten-free or whatever meal preferences that you have is taken care of, and that they cater to your needs. Point number 5, almost at the end. Well, point number 5 is price. So the price is an important factor. It shouldn't be the main factor though. Make sure that you don't choose a training that is overpriced. If you need to pay 10K for your training, it's too much. But about the price range that you can probably expect is around 5K. 5,000 francs, dollars, euros, whatever currency of yours. It's expensive. It is an investment, but it is an investment into yourself. So even if you don't intend on teaching, a yoga teacher training is just such an incredible experience, and especially if you want to bring your practice to the next level, it is probably a non-negotiable to do a teacher training. You learn so much more, not only about the philosophy of yoga, also the asanas, how the asanas are built up, how you need to sequence a class, how you need to assist. Just so many valuable lessons, not only for your practice but also for yourself, right? Because it is not only a journey to becoming a yoga teacher, but also a journey to discover your true self, your path in life, and move on your mental, physical, and spiritual journey. To sum up the 5th point, price, it is important that you don't choose a training that is too expensive, but also don't be too stingy when it comes to the training. So maybe you can't afford a training now, maybe you don't have these extra 3 to 5K in your bank account at the moment, and that is totally fine. You don't have to put yourself down because of that. Just take a bit of time to save up. Maybe you do it in 2 years, maybe in 3 years, or maybe after you finished your degree. That's how I did it. I finished my master's degree in law, and then I did my training, and I worked during the semesters to save up. If it's not the time at the moment, if you're too busy with work, with school, with whatever you are doing, or don't have the means, the financial means, don't worry, you can wait. You don't have to rush into one specific training that you want to do. Now, another question that I also get is, did I go by myself? Did I know already somebody at the training? And the only person that I knew, well, I took his class, was Mathieu. I can only tell by my experience. I think it's better to do this journey on your own. It will be better for you, and you will be more open if you don't know anybody. Now, the reason for that is that if you go there with a friend, you will already be attached to your friend and less open to meet the people that are also joining, the other participants, on a personal level and truly connect with them. You're probably most likely always with your friend, you're going to speak the same language. We can do that point number 6 if we already talk about languages. So if you're not a native English speaker, just think about what language you want to teach in. It is not hard to do a teacher training in English and then teach in your native language, because you have all the knowledge from the teacher training that you can implement and find your own words in your native language. And English is just an international language. Usually everybody speaks English, and you will be very inclusive also in the studios that you're going to teach back home. So if you have a lot of expats, a lot of foreigners or tourists in the studios that you are intending to teach, do your teacher training in English, and everybody is able to join your class, and you're able to share your teaching of yoga, your passion with everybody. It is very inclusive. Yeah, so I learned yoga in English, and now I sometimes teach in Swiss German, sometimes in High German, most likely and preferably in English. To sum everything up for the language, the things that you need to take into consideration when choosing the language: first of all, where do you want to teach? Maybe you have already a certain studio in mind, and then think about, are these people teaching in German, French, English, or any other language that is your native language? And then just think about being inclusive, being able to also teach maybe abroad. It will be most likely in English, so just take that into consideration, that you keep all your options open. Maybe that's already point number 7, but really important question as well. What I get asked a lot, is it better to either do the full 3-4-ish weeks for 200 hours in one piece, or do weekends? That is one question. And the other thing is to do it in your hometown, in the country that you grew up in, or to do it abroad. For me, it's pretty simple to answer because I knew it right away. I wanted to do it abroad and in one whole piece, because I knew that it is going to be a crazy experience. I want to make a lot of memories. I really enjoyed Bali because I visited the island before, so it was pretty clear for me. Now, I had the privilege to have a lot of free time after finishing my law degree, and therefore I was able to go for, I think I was 5 weeks, for 5 weeks to Bali. Not everybody has this privilege, I am aware of that. And then if you can't take that long of a holiday, of a vacation from your work, or maybe you do it in between 2 jobs, so maybe you want to quit your job anyway, do the teacher training, and then start a new job when you come back, that is also an option. But for me, it would make more sense to do it in one whole piece, because I want to really stay on that journey and not get distracted along the way, and also in between the weekends, right? Because when you go for the weekend option, it's a bit harder to stay present, because you have so many other distractions in your personal life, in your business life and your work life, so, or maybe at school. So that's why I wanted to do it in a whole piece. And I chose Bali because I wanted vacation and experience. Being able to do it on the weekends, which is really good too, because then maybe it will be good for you to really digest everything that you have learned on the weekends during a couple of days. It's going to be less intense physically, it's going to be less intense mentally. So maybe if you think that this would be a better choice for you, then totally go for it. Before I end this video, I just want to talk a bit about my experience at the yoga teacher training and why I really recommend you to do one as well. If you want to get to know more about the philosophy of yoga, if you want to know more about the yoga asanas and how they're built up, the foundations and how to assist, and also if you want to learn more about yourself, if you want to get a deeper connection to your own self. Experience at my yoga teacher training was truly life-changing. It was really transformative and eye-opening experience, getting to know myself more and listening inwards instead of just distracting myself by my work, by spending time with my friends, reading, consuming content. I'm so glad that I chose to do my yoga teacher training after I finished university, because I had a clear head. I knew that I was done with my degree, that I was able to fully focus on the teacher training, which is another big factor, timing. So make sure that you take enough time to do your training, and also after your training to process everything. So maybe like 1 to 2 weeks before you go back to your work, have a bit of time to process everything. And then you also go in there with charged batteries, because it's going to be very intense and you need all the energy that you can get. I met so many lovely people at the training from all around the world, from different backgrounds, different cultures, different upbringings, and yet we were still really similar in our values, in our just like interests in general. So nice to connect with all these different people and to truly create bonds of friendship in this short amount of time. States of stress, sometimes emotions can come up. There's going to be a lot of crying, maybe sleep deprivation, not enough energy, just like so many things that can come up during the training. And all these experiences just really connect you. And we still have a group chat with all the yogis that took our training, with the teacher and the founders of exhaleyogaretreats, and we still text, and I'm still in contact with all of the people. When I was in Berlin, I saw one of my friends. When I was in Geneva, I saw 2 of my friends of the yoga teacher training. I recently went to London, and I think we were 7 people from the yoga teacher training. It's just amazing the bonds that you can tie. The training for me was really demanding and intense. I was able to meet some of my demons, some of the things that I have suppressed in my life, some issues and some difficulties within myself, and I think I was really able to come clean with a lot of the things, with a lot of the grudges that I still held. I was able to forgive others and also myself. I learned how to do everything I do from a place of compassion and love, freeing myself from judgment and stepping away from my ego. During my time at university, yoga really helped me to stay grounded, to breathe, to connect with my body, mind and soul, and really find my inner balance again. The reason why I did my yoga teacher training is not only to get my practice to the next level, but I was really intrigued about the whole yoga philosophy. I was really inspired by some yogis that I met to share the incredible benefits of yoga with other people, to help other people as well to find their peace with themselves, to find their inner balance, and that they are able to benefit from all the things that yoga has to offer. I'm incredibly glad for everything that I have learned. I'm super thankful for Mathieu and Sally that they shared all their knowledge with us, for Jules and Rachel for organizing this amazing training, for hosting such an incredible experience, and taking the pictures and videos to really hold these memories not only in our mind but also that you can look back and replay the videos, replay everything that you have lived there and relive some of the moments, some of these precious moments. And also to Marie, who did our food. It was just such amazing food and really helped me to get through the physical boundaries of the training. And my body got so much stronger, I got more flexible. The physical aspect is not the goal of yoga. However, it is such a great plus to be able to do arm balances, headstands, maybe even handstands, just to improve physically as well, because it is really rewarding. You can't really grasp your mental or spiritual journey or development, evolvement. However, you can really clock or track your physical development, the things that you are improving within your physical practice, the poses that you were able to get into. When I came back from my teacher training, I started teaching directly because at the moment I'm doing a gap year. I'm going to start with my internship, my law internship in September at the law firm here in Zurich, and I'm really excited for this challenge and the gap year that I took to teach yoga and to learn more about myself and also recharge my batteries after my degree. That gap year was just so amazing and really valuable, and I'm super glad that I took this step, that I didn't directly jump into working, that I was able to cross some things off my bucket list, and that I just was able to embark on this amazing spiritual, physical and mental journey. And these memories just will stay forever in my heart, and I will keep them so dearly. Yeah, and all the people that I met, all the stories that I'm able to tell now, it's just incredible. I don't want to make this video too long. I'm probably going on for ages already. If you have any more questions, leave them in the comments down below. Write me on one of my other social media accounts. I'm the most active on Instagram. My handle is linked down below. It's Geraldine Antoinette, geraldine.antoinette. Yeah, just feel free to reach out. Don't be a stranger, and I hope that you will find the teacher training that suits you. Good luck on the choice. The selection can be really overwhelming, but I hope that these 5 tips that I gave and just my experience in general will help you to do your own choice. That's all from my side. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like, subscribe and hit the bell because it really supports my channel. And I see you in my next video. I promise I'm going to do some yoga content soon. I'm just teaching a lot at the moment, and I have so many other things that I want to film and share. I really try my best to give you the best content that I can. Alright, see you soon. Stay tuned for the next one. Bye bye.
Hey Joey, just wanted to say thank you for an amazing class today. You are such a good teacher. You've got such a calm, soft yet really motivating voice.
It was beautiful and you just have a great energy. Calm, competent, loving-hearted, and it's just a joy to be in her class.
She's such a beautiful person with such a big heart, and that shines through her class, giving such a wonderful softness to her teaching.
She's such a good teacher. She's so direct when she gives her cues, and at the same time she has this more soothing voice ever.
Nice to have her guide us into a moving meditation.
Geraldine's classes are so inspiring. I feel like my mind worked just as much as my body did.
And I am both blissed out and exhausted.
I would call it a meditative flow. So she has a word for everything, her cueing has a nice tempo, and yeah, I really enjoyed it.
And good hands with her.